everyone, and welcome back to Foretaste. Thank you for joining us again today. Today we'll be making a mango cheesecake. It's completely raw, you don't need to bake it, and it's completely plant-based as well. So this was actually requested by a friend of ours in New South Wales, Kevin Simi. So thanks for the request, and we hope you enjoy this recipe. Let's roll the intro.
Ingredients. For your base, you will need almonds, dates, vanilla essence, salt, shredded coconut, and coconut oil. For the filling, you will need cashews that have been soaked overnight, fresh or frozen mango, coconut cream, a plant-based milk of choice, maple syrup or rice malt syrup, agave or honey, any sweetener of choice, coconut oil, and some lecithin granules. Toppings: fresh mango, mixed berries, either fresh or frozen, and some coconut flakes.
So first of all, you're going to want to soak your cashews. For optimal results, soak your cashews overnight, just in some cold water, cover them. So these cashews, I've soaked them overnight and I'm giving them a rinse now. Once I've thoroughly rinsed them and drained them, I'm going to place them into a tea towel, into another container. Then I'll get rid of the water, dry them and place them aside. Alright, now it's time to make the base. You're going to need a food processor for this step. So we'll start off by adding our almonds in. We're going to need some hot water, so you can use your kettle for this step. So we're just going to want to soak these dates in some hot water to soften them up. So once that water has boiled, we'll just cover them with the water, let them sit aside for a bit. Now we'll place some salt into our food processor, some shredded coconut, some coconut oil. Okay, our dates, they're still a little bit tough, so I'll leave them to soak for a little longer. While that's soaking, I'm going to get some baking paper and line the base of my cake tin. Alright, so now I've drained out the water from the dates and added the dates to the food processor, and we're going to turn that on. Alright, so we're just going to keep blending until we get the desired consistency, and we'll scrape down the sides if we need to. Alright, so once that's ready, you can feel the texture. If you're happy with that, then you're ready to make your base. So you'll just pour the mixture into your cake tin, spread it out as evenly possible with a spatula, and then to press firm, I use some baking paper in between my hands and the base, just so I don't get my hands greasy, and I just press evenly down. If you want some of your base along the sides, you can do that. Here I've got just a small, a little bit of the base mixture along the side. So once I'm happy with that, then I will get a glass, and you can use the bottom of the glass with some baking paper just to pat firm once again. Once that's done, you'll place that in the freezer. Alright, so now it's time to make the filling, and we're going to need our blender for this. Here we're using a Vitamix, but you can use any strong blender that you might have. The NutriBullet's really great at blending down those cashews, so you might need to do it in batches. You might need to blend in batches if you have a NutriBullet. So we're going to add our mangoes to the Vitamix. So this is about 3 cups of frozen mangoes, and I've let them sit. I measured out 3 cups, and then they've defrosted. And then we have 1 large lemon here that'll make about 1/4 cup of lemon juice. You can add more if you'd like a bit more of a fresh tang or kick to your cheesecake. And then we'll add about 1/4 cup of maple syrup as well. Again, you can add a little bit more for sweetness. And then we're going to add our cashews in. So I measured out 3 cups of cashews and then soaked them. So that was about 500 grams of cashews. A little bit of vanilla essence. Next, we're going to add the coconut cream. So here I've added about 1 cup. And I'm going to add 1/2 cup of a plant-based milk of choice. And then we're going to start blending. So here our Vitamix trip, so we tried to sort it out, and I think this is a result of the filling being too thick. So what I did was add a little bit more liquid to make that a bit more runny. So just adjust with the plant-based milk, giving it a stir, pouring a little bit out, and it seemed to work fine after that. So I added in some coconut oil and lecithin granules, which are the last 2 ingredients to add into the filling, and you to add them once the mixture is completely blended up. Now I wasn't satisfied with the color, so I thought I'd add a little bit of turmeric powder just for the color, and also I guess for anti-inflammatory benefits as well. So I added some turmeric powder to a small amount of filling along with some additional liquid, and once that had blended together, I just stirred that into the remainder of the filling in the bowl by hand. And then I poured about half of the filling into the Vitamix for one last blend. And I added a bit more of the turmeric for the color, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you've got some fresh mangoes handy, they're nice and sweet and juicy, they'll do the trick just fine. Once you're happy with the cheesecake filling, we will now pour it into the cake tin. Then you're going to want to lift the cake tin up and give it a couple of firm taps onto your bench to get rid of any bubbles and to evenly distribute the filling. Once you are satisfied, then we can place this now into the refrigerator, where it will need a couple of hours, preferably overnight, to set. And that's it. Before serving, you can place the cheesecake into the refrigerator for a couple of hours, maybe even overnight. I tried this overnight and it worked out fine the next day, just until it's soft enough to cut. Once it's ready to serve, you can top with any of your favorite fruits you might have handy. Here I had some frozen berries, and of course you got to serve it with some fresh mango. Have the juice of the mango seeping off the cheesecake, and I also added a little sprinkle of some coconut flakes for a final touch. And enjoy! Alright, so we're going to try that out. It's draped out. Ooh, yes, I'll be taste testing by myself today, solo. So let's get a bit of mango, a bit of that cheesecake, and some berry. That's quite nice. That crust is I really like that crust. The coconut and the almonds, the crunch. Really comes well together, and it's nice with that fresh mango. Yeah, that definitely works. If If you don't like things super sweet, then you'd probably like to use a little less of the sweetener like I did in this one. In the recipe, I'll adjust the sweetness and just put a note to use fresh mango if you like. That might be nicer for you. And yeah. Well, thanks Simi for the suggestion, and we hope you've enjoyed this video. And if anyone else has any other suggestions, please feel free to drop them down in the comments and we'll definitely look into it. Coming up next week, we have a dish made from kale. So if you're wondering what you can do with that kale, tune in next week to find out. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and give it a share, and also subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. Well, thanks for joining us here on Fortes today. We hope we've inspired you to make more wholesome meals from home and to eat more plants. See you guys next time. Bye.